everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be learning how to cut this beautiful top with front buttons and a slit in front. So if it's something you would love to learn, do it to watch to the end of the video, like, share and subscribe. So without further ado, let's jump right into the main video. So this top here is our starting point and our shoulder line. So I'm going to come down to mark 1.5 inches for my button allowance, and I will rule a straight line all the way down. So from the top, I'm going to come down to mark my bust point. From my shoulder to my bust point is 9.5 inches. I will rule that across. Then from the shoulder, I'm going to come down to mark my under bust line. From my shoulder to my under bust point is 12 inches. And I will also rule that line across as well. Then I'll come down to mark my waist point. From my shoulder to my waist point in front is 16.5 inches. I'll mark that and rule a line across. Then I'll come down to mark the length of my top. I mark 22 inches for the length. It depends on how long or short you want yours, and I'll rule a line across. This is my full length, my waistline, my under bust line and my bust line. So I'm going to come to the shoulder here, divide my shoulder by 2. I'm going to mark it here. And at that point, I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I'll come here to mark my neck depth of 3 inches. I'll connect to the neck depth this way. The next thing is to mark the arm length. How to get your arm length? Divide your bust by 6, then add 1.5 inches to the measurement. I got 7. I'm going to extend that line across this way. Make sure all your measurements are taken after your button allowance. This is our chest line. So I'm going to come to the chest line, mark my shoulder measurement here to have a straight line. Then I'll connect all the way to that point we just marked on the chest line. I'll come here, divide what I have here into 2 equal halves to get the midpoint. At that point, I'll go in by 1/2 inch. I'll come to the chest line, divide my bust circumference by 4. Then I'll connect the point to form my armhole with my curve rule this way. The next thing is to mark our dart, and to mark your dart, you're going to divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2. My nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 is 3.5. I'm going to mark it on all the lines. Then I'll connect with a straight line this way. Then on the under bust line, I'm going to be marking 1/2 inch on the center front. Then on the side front, I'll mark 1 inch. But if you're a plus size person, you can mark 1.5 inches on the center front and then 2 inch on the side front. I'm going to mark 1/2 inch here as well, then 1 inch on the side front. I'll connect the points together with a straight line this way. Then from the full length, I'm going to come up by 2 inch. I'm going to come up by 2 inch here, then connect my dart all the way to that point. Then from the bust line, I'm going to come down by 1/2 inch. Then I'll connect my dart up with my curve rule all the way to that point as well. So we're going to connect this all the way to the midpoint of our armhole this way. You can see that the shape of our bust is coming out already. Then I'm going to mark 1/2 inch on both sides of this line as well and connect it back into the initial line with my curve rule this way. So what we took for our dart here, this 1 inch, I'm going to replace it here so we don't have any shortage when we are sewing. Then I'll extend this line to meet that 1 inch this way. Then I'll replace the 1 inch on the chest line as well, and then reconnect my armhole. So the next thing is to impute our round body measurement. I've already marked my bust measurement. I'll come to the under bust line, divide my under bust by 4, then the 1.5 inches for that, I'll replace it. I'll come to the waistline, divide my waist by 4, then the 1.5 inches, I'll replace it as well. Then I'll come to the full length. I'm going to divide my hip measurement here and then connect my points together. So I'm going to come up here by 1 inch and then connect with my curve rule into the line. This is to give it a nice curve around this area. Then from the dart leg, I'm going to come in by 1 inch from the dart leg this way. Then from the waistline, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. It depends on where you want your slit to start from. So I'll come down by 1 inch here. Then from there, I'll connect to the 1 inch icon I marked here like this. This is where our slit is going to be. Then the next thing is to mark our bust dart. And to do that, this is the difference you have from your shoulder to your waist in front and back, and mine is 1.5 inches. I came down by 1.5 inches from the bust line and I connected it back, and we're going to cut this out. For the neck depth, I'm going to mark 6.5 inches. it depends on what you want. You can do 5, 7, depends on how deep you want your v-neck to be. Then I'll connect it this way, and this is basically it for the front. I'll go ahead and cut this. I'll make sure to close down your bust dart before you cut out. And this is basically it for the drafting of the front pattern. It's very simple, right? So this is the center front and this is our side front. So this is where our buttons will be, and this is basically, let's keep this aside and work on the back pattern. For the back pattern, I've already gonna rule out the necessary lines, the bust line, waistline, and the full length. And I'm going to come to the shoulder line, divide my shoulder by 2. I'll mark it here, come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I'll come here to mark my neck width of 3 inches. I'll connect from the shoulder slope to the neck width this way. I'll come down to mark my neck depth of 1 inch, and then I'll connect with my curve row this way. I'll come down to mark my chest line, divide your bust by 6, then add 1.5 inches, just the way we did for the front. And I'm going to extend the line across this way. This is our chest line. I'll come here to mark my shoulder measurement here, and I'll connect from the shoulder slope all the way to the point we just marked on the chest line. So I'm going to come to this line here, divide it into 2 equal halves to get the midpoint. At that point, I will go in by 1/2 inch. I'll come to the chest, then divide my bust circumference by 4, and then I'll connect the points together to form my armhole this way. The next thing is to mark our dart, and I'm going to divide my nipple to nipple measurement by 2. I'll mark it on the chest line, on the bust line, on the waistline, all the way to the full length. Then I'll go ahead and connect the points together with a straight line. On the waistline, I'm going to mark 1/2 inch on both sides of our dart leg this way. Then I'll come off from the hip line by 2 inches. I'll come down from the chest line by 1 inch. I'll go ahead and connect my darts. So if you want your own to have the normal dart, you can just leave it this way. But if you want it to have a preset dart, just like the front pattern, you just connect this line to the midpoint of our armhole. I'll come out here by 1/2 inch and reconnect my armhole this way. The next thing is to impute our round body measurements. We've already marked our bust measurement. I'll come to the waist, divide my waist by 4, replace the 1 inch dart, and come to the full length. I will divide my hip by 4 as well. I'll mark it here. I'll go ahead and connect my points together like this. I'll come up here by 1 inch, just the way we did for the front, to give it a nice curve, and I'll connect it back into the line this way. And this is basically it for the back pattern. Remember that we didn't add our sewing allowance, so when you are cutting on your actual fabric, make sure to add your sewing allowance, or better still, when you are drafting your pattern, do well to add your sewing allowance as well. So this is basically for the pattern drafting. This is the back, this is the center back, and this is the side back, and this is what we have for this tutorial. If you find this video helpful, do well to like, share, and subscribe. If you have any question, drop it in the comment section and I will do well to attend to it. See you in the next video. Bye.